The thing I hate about comics the most, even though I know it's been there for a while, is multiverses. Anybody that watches my material and is familiar with my material, you know exactly why. I've done long form videos on this very topic, how it incentivizes laziness, how it destroys the coolest thing about the American comic book, and that was the shared universe. It the stakes aren't high anymore because of that, and it's always used as a trope. I've said my favorite crossover event, arguably the first big one, is Crisis on Infinite Earth, because it specifically acknowledged the problem with the multiversal aspect, and they created a epic story to try to merge them all. Granted, they went back and fucked it up, but that means a lot. Now they have other crises, and they have had more, but it's still one of those things that I despise. Some people say, well, if done right, like I just think it's cheap, and I'm not interested in it. I told y'all that it certainly won't be a part of our universe. When our comic company gets in the ground, I've never been interested in that, and it's as clear as can be, and clear as day. Marvel has used this as a way to do goofy shit. Some of the characters that y'all don't even know about, for example, are people that have come from different realities. For example, in the main universe, I talked about this when I was still reading Marvel Comics. The main universe, Moondragon and Phyla-Vell are not the main universe's Moondragon and Phyla-Vell. Those are dead. They brought them from a different reality. It makes no sense, but that's their way of basically making the stakes not high. So, hey, we have this character. He's killed off, but hey, here's another version of him that came from the universe. And that's exactly what they're going to do with a lot of this multiverse and the madness shit, or whatever they're calling that new Doctor Strange movie. And now, you're going to get that on the big screen. All it essentially means is that nothing's on the line. And if we can't make it make sense from the continuity and creative aspect, then we will just say, well, they're from a different universe, or the multiverse has solved this problem. It's one of the laziest things, certainly in comic books. And I know there's going to be people in the comments that say, well, if done right, it's different. It's not about the multiverse. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it can be used. Like, whatever. That's your business. I'm bored of that fucking non-argument, and I'm not interested. As it's used, it certainly incentivizes laziness, because you are not glued to having basically a main continuity at all, and having to make sure that your writers and everybody's on the same page. It's an absolute fucking free-for-all. But y'all's favorite character outside of Miles Morales, who is also a favorite character that you guys don't invest in terms of the comic books because you don't buy shit books, and to be fair, I don't blame you. Stretchy McGee, a.k.a. Miss Marvel, the current Miss Marvel, a.k.a. Kamala Harris Khan, who they have also retconned in the main universe, who doesn't even have fucking stretchy powers is in their upcoming show. They're doing the same thing that they are with her as they're doing with Miles. And for those of you that don't know what they're doing with Miles, he just had a What If limited series where he was literally Thor, he was Hulk, he was, of course, tokenized Spider-Man as he's always been. He was Wolverine, and he was Captain America. He was all of them, which, to be fair, he's just as much Wolverine as he is Spider-Man, because his very existence is exactly that. But that's what came of those stories. Even on his main, hell, Miles himself comes from a different universe. And now he's in the main continuity in this universe. And he's dealing with clones and fucking evil Miles from a different universe. They're doing the same thing with Stretchy Hands McGee. And now she is about to have all these different variants, as they call them. Though Beyond the Limit, issue 5 concluded with Miss Marvel, Bruno, and Nadia defeating interdimensional traveler Quarren, who blamed Kamala for the death of her Dimensions Miss Marvel. They failed to apprehend the man responsible for originally breaching the multiverse. The issue's epilogue revealed this mystery man to still be in possession of Polchinski's box from Beyond the Limit's first issue. Using its multiverse tapping power, he gains awareness of several Miss Marvel variants across time and space. These include two humanoids, Infinity War's Kamala Kang, and most notably a Venom symbiote wearing Miss Marvel. Miles was also Venom for a little bit as well. He's both Venom and Carnage a little bit there as well. Despite sharing other three variants, Lightning Bolt, Insignia, and Arm Bracelet leaves her status as friend or foe unclear. And yeah, as you can see right here, here she is. She's Venom. She's Kang. And yeah, it's the same shit. Here we go. Multiverse. And now we have this version of this character that y'all like so much. We're going to flip them around, and now they're going to be like this other character that we had. It's fucking boring. It's boring. They have done it with almost every new prominent character. They continue to do that. They continue to rely on this whole multiverse thing. And like I said, that can be attractive. The reason why that shit is so attractive to like normies who like the idea of superhero, which is basically Marvel's target demographic at this point, is that the normie who doesn't like have to rely upon any, I mean, that's what makes him a normie, any sort of knowledge, right? And it's like you can get in whenever you get in. You like the idea of superheroes, fine, just come in. None of this matters. The stories that we did before don't matter because we can retcon it out of existence. We can say that it didn't happen. We can say this is a different version of it. How many times are we seeing goofy versions of these characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And what do they always say? It's a different universe. So even the mere concept of Marvel's Cinematic Universe is, who cares? Even if the character is nothing like who they actually were and actually are, doesn't matter. It's a different universe. It's fucking boring. As in, like, I was right. Okay. I should pull. This one doesn't spin. My bad, Razor Fist. This chair doesn't spin. It's one of those just kind of folding kind of chairs. One of the chairs that you hit people over the head with professional wrestling. And I can't spin around and say, fuck you, I was right. But I was speaking against this stuff for years, and people act like I was just dramatizing the impact of it and how heavily reliant upon it these companies were and how it was getting progressively worse, for lack of better terms. That means multiple things. It's fucking boring. It's boring. And they suck. I get it. For you guys that are kind of the outliers that think, well, it could be used to tell some cool. It's used, again, to incentivize two things. It is the laziness. But think about it. You bring in a writer who doesn't know what it is that they're doing. It's easy to justify them being brought on, having no concept of who these characters are. If you can just say, who cares? We can alter it. It's going to be a different universe. You don't even have to read a fucking comic book ever in your life. Ta-Nehisi Coates, who writes Black Panther out of nowhere, despite him never, ever, ever writing really any comic book like that. He gets that, and then he gets Captain America as well. You can justify that type of stuff if you can say, well, it doesn't matter. Whatever story you tell, we can make it make sense. And we can retcon it in or out of existence. It's easy. That's what Ta-Nehisi Coates' whole thing was. It was the intergalactic Wakanda shit. Like, what? So that's what I'm saying. It incentivizes laziness, and you're seeing how heavily reliant upon it Marvel Comics has become, both in their movies and the next movie they're coming out with is exactly focusing on that. And you are about to get all kinds of stuff. It means no stakes. That's what it means. No stakes. Get in where you fit in. Does it have to make sense? No. We can just say it's from a different universe. It's boring.
You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.